Hello and happy Thursday. Today is June the 24th, 2021. I want to talk a little bit today about worship, and particularly worship in the Episcopal context. We gather on Sunday. Our prayer book calls Sunday the Lord's Day. Starting in 1979 with the adoption of our current prayer book, the Lord's Day is intended as a day where we celebrate the Eucharist, where we celebrate the Last Supper and have communion together. That wasn't the way it always was, and many of you may remember that. Remember those days prior to 1979 when communion in the Episcopal Church might have been monthly or even quarterly. Some folks even remember that it was Christmas, Easter, and maybe one or two other times a year that you had that. But in our tradition now, and since 1979, it is a weekly thing. The idea is that Eucharist is weekly. Over the past several years, maybe 10, 15 years, churches, not just Episcopal churches, but in the Episcopal Church as well, have pulled liturgies, pulled orders of service and worship materials. In our church, we've pulled them from the Book of Common Prayer and put them in a bulletin. So everything's in one place, right? And the idea is that that makes it much more visitor friendly, makes it much more amenable to those who may not know our tradition and may not want to juggle two books at a time. Not that you ever have to hold two books at a time, but that was the idea behind it, right? And when we got into the pandemic, we were definitely bent on not having prayer books, not using books that we might communally touch, right? Now that we're back, now that we are moving past that stage, and now that we know that surfaces are not the main transmitter of that particular germ, we want us to get back into using the prayer book. So much of the prayer book is rooted in Scripture, and we'll talk more about that in some other videos and articles that we're going to do. But beginning on July 4th, we're going to go back to using the prayer book way more than we use the bulletin. The bulletin will have page numbers and direct people to the page number in the Book of Common Prayer. Those who are in upfront leadership, whether it's the clergy or the lector who will direct us to what page the psalm is on, or the intercessor who will direct us to what page the prayers of the people are on, we're gonna turn to the prayer book for that stuff, to literally go back to one of the original sources for that. And hopefully we will acquaint ourselves or reacquaint ourselves with the Book of Common Prayer, which is a core feature of who we are as Episcopalians. That this is the volume that is in so many, almost every Episcopal church, and sort of our gift to Christianity in some ways too, the Anglicanism's gift to Christianity. If you are someone who watches at home, we will still have the full bulletin with all the words printed in it. That's what we'll post online. That's what we'll post in the link for our YouTube videos, so you can follow along and not feel lost, I hope. And if you would like a prayer book, we have extras. We have some that are slightly worn, maybe missing a page or two here and there, might have a really bad broken spine or something. Those are all in the library. And if you want to come get one, please come get one. They're on a shelf near the big table. So please come get one, take it with our compliments and our love, explore it, get to know it, find your way around it. And if you want to sit down with me or Courtney or Lisa, or there's a bevy of other people in this church who know the prayer book really well, we'd be glad to do it. We'd be glad to walk through it with you and give you a tour, as you will. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us for worship, whether you join us online or in person. I look forward to reacquainting ourselves with the Book of Common Prayer in July and August. Take care and have a great day and have a great weekend.